Oh, a special episode we have today. Hear that, Jack? Do you know what that was?
No.
That was me breaking the mold, the formula, all right?
The New Year's episode, man.
The mold is everywhere, Jack, because we've broken it.
Yeah, or it's the New Year's episode.
Because it's a new year when this is being
We
posted.
did clean up after the Jedward Christmas special.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited to hear about your year in reflection, Tom. I can only imagine you have such positive things to say.
Hang on. If only there was a word to get you to stop. Oh my God, I just remembered. Shut up. I'm talking.
Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up. Shut up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the New Year's special. We're so proud of you for getting to this point. What?
I'm more proud of us.
Yeah.
We're the ones putting in the work.
That's true.
What
All
are
they're
them lot
doing is
doing?
listening.
Just sat there. What are you even doing right now? Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're in bed. Maybe you're gathered around the fireplace with your family on New Year's Eve, putting on the Shut Up, I'm Talking New Year's special. They could be at the top of Mount Everest with this video downloaded on YouTube's download feature.
All right. Okay. You just name
We
it
don't
all
have
there.
to market YouTube Premium.
No.
Maybe they're listening to one of the audio versions that we have on every audio platform. And
All right. Yeah, we get it. They could be listening anywhere.
yeah, they could just be anywhere listening to this. And we thank you.
How's this related to the New Year episode? Special.
Well, it's a special episode, and therefore people will listen to it specially.
I don't think. All right, guys. However you listen to this right now, stop, go to somewhere special, or do something special, and then unpause.
Okay, sure. And like and subscribe while you're there.
Yeah. Actually, on second thought, I don't think we should be encouraging people to stop listening.
Only temporarily,
Sure.
whilst they go somewhere better.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of questions. Basically, we got lazy because we didn't want to do any work after Christmas. So we had someone prepare us a bunch of questions to answer to reflect on our 2024.
What a year it's been, right, man?
So we have a bunch of questions that we're going to answer. And you know what? We're going to start with our first segment. That's how you know how jolly I am.
Oh, yeah.
Even
What's
on-
that segment, baby?
Well,
And
it's a
by the
different
way, we have a lot of segments
Well,
today.
it's actually a different one because we won't be talking about our worst moment of the week.
What are we talking about?
Worst moment of the year, Tom.
Oh, wow. We have been geniuses in the way that we've expanded our basic segment into a larger segment that still works for this special episode.
What's your worst moment of the year, Tom?
Pass.
What?
No, I'd really rather not. All right, fine. But I'm going to give you a niche one, all right? Not one of the most obvious ones. Parents got the... No, I'm not doing that today, man. All right?
That's good.
Going out, I'm going, as I says, niche.
Mm-hmm.
This was one where we was on tour around America, Jack. And guess
We
what?
were.
You play a large part in this worst moment. Spoiler alert, it's you.
No way.
We were on tour, deep into our tour. All of these many terribly traumatic things have happened to me. You know, I'm not doing well. Let's put it this way. And it's about 3 a.m. on the tour
Not
bus.
all of them had happened yet, but the big
No,
ones.
no, at this point, all the not, oh yeah, you're right, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. But the big ones, the divorce and such.
That's true. Some of the big ones had happened. So I came down and it's 3 a.m. and I'm not doing well. And I've just made the mistake of watching the beginning scene of The Last of Us. I come down to Jack and I go, Jack, this is just explaining that cordyceps, this is the virus from the fictional film Last of Us, turns out is real. And I go, Jack, he's saying in this thing that I just watched that if the world heats up, like it is, by the way, the cordyceps
warming's
could
real.
happen. Can you comfort me? And Jack, even though I'm clearly not doing well, and all I needed was a helping hand from a bro, goes, no, it could be real. And I start panicking. I get all flustered. I'm literally teary-eyed going, Jack, please, please, Jack. And we have a show tomorrow for hundreds of people. I'm going, Jack, please just tell me. I need my beauty sleep. I'm going, Jack, please tell me the cordyceps can't be real and get me. And you're going, no, man. It could happen, man. There's no way to say for sure. I go upstairs, Jack, and I weep. I cry.
Did you cry?
I cry because I was so stressed and scared. And I had no one to talk
I
to.
didn't know you were going to cry.
Because it was 3 a.m. in America and I couldn't FaceTime nobody because everyone else was asleep. And I just cried.
Well, no, at 3 a.m. in America, they'll all be awake. It'd be firmly the morning here.
No, I couldn't. Well, okay, fine. I couldn't FaceTime my mum and it's 5 a.m. for her. And I'm like, Mum. Anyway, my point being, you trapped me mentally.
No.
And it was do you know how low I felt crying in my coffin, worried I'm going to turn into a zombie? Do you know how low I felt, Jack?
I just don't know what you want. Do you
After
want me
my
to
whole
lie
world
to you?
that came crumbling. You know what? In hindsight, yeah.
Because I'm not trying to be funny. There is already on this earth a parasite, a fungus, that infests the brain of ants and controls them.
You're doing it again.
And although I find it unlikely, I suppose we can't say for certain that couldn't mutate and evolve and do that to humans. We can't say
You're
that for
doing it
certain.
again. I can't believe
But I just don't know how I'm supposed to. What do you want me to do? Fib? Tell a lie?
I've still had a bad year. I still need you to be helping me.
But
through
Tom,
this.
look. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying it's unlikely. And hey, man, you can sleep at night. You know, the world could explode tomorrow, Tom, but you don't have to sit there worrying about it.
I don't mind if the world explodes. I mind if I turn into a freaking zombie.
We'll just stay away from fungus then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's all you needed.
What's your worst
realistic
moment
advice?
What's your worst moment of the year, Jack?
My worst moment of the year.
Of the year.
The whole year. I'll be honest, when I wrote down all my answers on the sheet, I actually missed I thought those were headings. So I missed most questions were bullet pointed, but those weren't. So I have to just think on the fly. Can you hear my little beard hairs as I scratch them? Picking that up? Guess what? Oh, a little bit. We got a little bit of a nod. Anyway, we'll cut this bit out in post of all the thinking. Probably the whole year. I don't know. What was the worst moment of the whole year? Oh, God, we lost all those mates this year. All those mates ended up being shit people.
Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it?
Realistically, that was probably the worst of it.
That was a tough week for us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
in the
couple
midst of
weeks
tour
in.
rehearsals.
Yeah, that was bad.
Went on as well. Each week you think, not another.
And then there was another mate, yeah.
Yeah.
So genuinely probably that was probably the hardest part.
It doesn't feel like it could have been that bad on you, Jack, given how long it took to spring to Mars.
Well, I'm very bad at remembering when things happened.
okay.
Got a very bad sense of time. So I forgot that was this year.
That's unhelpful for the reflective episode.
Well, no, I wrote all the rest down. That was the one thing I actually missed on the sheet. So I had to think. It took me a long time to do the rest of the sheet.
How could you miss that, Jack, given we always do the worst moment?
Didn't have a bullet point. If you look, all the rest of the things on the sheet have bullet points, but those don't. So I thought they were
Do you
headings.
think it's the fault of formatting?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
All right, then. Let's move on to our next segment. What was our overall best moment of the year? Jack, what's yours?
Easy. I moved in with my girlfriend this year. Changed my world.
Oh, yeah.
My world changed. Well, we live together now. It's lovely. I enjoy that I every day is spent with my girlfriend as opposed to before when it was some days.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It's yours.
My best moment of the year, well, it definitely wasn't when I moved in with my girlfriend.
Beginning of the end.
Did not end well. Yeah. No, that
Well, you just kept doing all those episodes. You kept going, I hate this moving in together stuff. And I kept thinking, seems awfully odd. And then it all made sense.
no.
Very
that was not
quickly I
why.
went, oh.
That was not why. That didn't help. Because it was a small apartment and we were all on each other's toes. It was a little tense on some day. Obviously it didn't decelerate things. It didn't help. But my best moment of the year would have been probably on tour.
Yes.
Not all the tour, because there were some difficult moments, but specifically the Phoenix, Arizona show, because one, it was just a packed out room. The audience vibes was incredible. And
Great
there was
show.
this one fucking guy who must have accidentally thought he was like at a rock metal concert, because whenever Binder the dog was in trouble, he'd start screaming and he'd stand up and he'd grab the railing. And when Binder survived, he went, yeah, yeah. And he was like throwing his fist in the air.
Crazy.
He was like a health hazard in the audio. And this guy and his little brother was just fucking losing his mind. And whenever I was singing, it's time to take the reins of my story, he was like,
It's a song we made.
take the fucking reins. He was just this fucking, and I just remember I couldn't keep my eyes off this one guy who was fucking having the time of his life.
Was almost as entertaining as what was happening on stage.
We could have just invited him up to sort of I get why people watch reaction YouTubers now, because he was just like
His reactions were great.
It was just him reacting to us, and it was I'll be honest with you, it was fucking incredible. So I love that lad.
He clearly didn't like it that much because it was Boulder, Colorado that he showed up on, not Phoenix, Arizona.
Was it?
It was.
Shit. Well, then it would have been the Boulder show that was my favorite. I can remember the room specifically. Oh yeah, you're right. It was Boulder. Sorry, Phoenix. You lot were fine.
Yeah.
It was actually Boulder.
Who did we see in Phoenix?
Time Dio.
Oh, we saw
That was
Dio in
lovely.
Phoenix. That was lovely.
That was lovely.
It was. I remember there was some significance to Phoenix, but I couldn't remember what it was.
That'd be my best moment of the year. Right, Jack. So next point in our segments, by the way, there's lots of segments today, is our best podcast moment.
I thought it was the best podcast guest.
No, that's later on.
Oh. God, I'm an idiot.
You are hate yourself more.
No.
Please.
That's all I can handle.
You are doing a lot wrong today.
Sorry. It's just not my day, man. I'm still hungover from the Jedward episode.
Still. It's weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to
like,
mislead the
canonically.
viewers.
Yeah, okay,
Canonically,
yeah,
I'm
sure.
like, oh.
What was your best podcast moment?
This is maybe cruel,
Yeah.
but my favourite podcast moment was our Dan TDM episode, where it's kind of a two-parter. When Dan came on, and his worst moment was that his house was leaking, and you went, haha, my house has never leaked. And then, and by the way, that day we did a double recording, so we doubled up. And within an hour of you laughing at Dan for his house leaking, we then got a text in real time on the podcast that your house had began leaking. I've never seen
And
like
it's the
such
toilet still
instant
isn't
karma.
fixed, by the way.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's meant to be getting fixed today. Oh shit.
Well, no one's into it.
Yeah, Harry is. He's probably going to get woken up.
Oh, I was going to say, because that
Shit, I forgot.
half of the G's are here. The G spot
The
remains
G-
empty.
Because of the G Squad. I'm with the G Squad, no sure. My best podcast moment for me was a moment from the Patreon, and it featured Vincent the Vein.
Oh, that's the vein in my forehead that pops
Yeah.
up. You've
And
probably
it was
seen
when
before.
you got really, really angry, really quick.
Oh.
When Phil brought up
No,
Dream.
no, we don't have to talk
And
about
you,
it.
and you immediately, when Cliffy got so angry, and you went, "I fucking hate." It was very good.
A lot of years of anger came up in that moment.
It was. I've just never seen such raw
and I'm going to
emotion.
say, I don't hate him.
Oh wow, you're going back on your word
Well, no, I said it in the. I don't hate him. That's harsh.
because you did say that.
I know. No, I did very passionately, but I don't.
You
I don't
said it very
hate him.
earnestly too.
I don't hate him. I just think over the years he's done things that I found
You
annoying.
don't have to get into it again.
I'm not gonna.
But yeah, I feel
But
like you've said what you need to
well,
say.
no, I just think I just wanted to clear up. Hate
you've
is
said
a
it a
strong
lot.
word, and and we spoke about this on the Patreon. But let's face it, all you fuckers leaked it.
Oh.
So let's just speak about it on the main now. That's what pissed me off. All the
No, Vincent, no.
no. But yeah, it's. Hate was a strong word, but I do stand by
That was my favourite moment.
you've been a bit of a
because
twat.
I just sort of watched it. It was like I was a viewer, but I wasn't because I was here and I could touch and feel and hear.
Well, you did. You put a hand on my
Smell.
leg and went, "It'll be okay."
You were very angry in that
I was
moment.
very angry.
You had some shit going on. What was your worst podcast moment, Jack?
My worst podcast moment.
Not the worst moment of the year. You were specific on
Oh,
podcast.
you know what? It's sort of a collection of moments, but the worst period of podcast was the period in which we kept filming test episodes and going, this one's the one. This one's the pilot. This is what goes out to the world.
Oh,
and we did that about 6 times.
We must have filmed,
For about a month and a half. We just filmed podcasts that never got out to the world because every time we watch it back and go, this isn't good.
Enough. It was good.
enough. No, they were fine, but they
And
weren't.
one day they'll get released on our Patreon.
Yeah, well, and they sort of go up. It is quite interesting to watch them develop because they go up in quality.
And it's
Because
funny you say
originally
this.
we just sat here with no set and lav mics on and just sort of chatted utter nonsense.
It's funny you say that because my worst podcast moment was cutting a segment. Now, viewers, you may think that this podcast, besides this episode, which has about 20, we usually only have one segment, the worst moment of the week. But I suppose 2 segments because of the worm too.
Yeah, we have 2
There
segments.
was a third segment. Now, I came up with this segment. It was called Hardening Up. All right.
Oh.
And it was to teach our viewers about
and
mental
it
health.
made it to the pilots.
We had 2 versions of Hardening Up before we went, this has got to go. And what it was towards the end of every episode, one of us would tell a very vulnerable story to the other. So in one of the first episodes, Jack told about a 5-minute long story about watching his dog die in his arms.
That
And
did
it was
happen to me.
really, really sad. Jack, I think you almost cried telling the story.
Well, it was a recent happening.
But the thing about Hardening Up was we'd listen to the other one say a vulnerable story, we'd get right to the end, and then the other one must respond, "Man up, pussy." Now, this segment didn't make it to air because it was bad, I think.
We did it.
We ran out of
The
vulnerable
first
things.
one with the dog actually did end up being quite funny.
Yeah.
And then what you realise very quickly is it's quite hard to find something of. I think what we shafted ourselves a bit making the first one my dying dog.
Yeah, because it couldn't get better.
Because I think what we wanted was just like sort of slightly upsetting happenstance.
But so I kept trying to one up that.
Yeah,
So
and
I
you
did a
tried the death of Technoblade,
Which I was
week.
pretty sad about that week. Got over it, obviously. But that week.
Oh,
it
you
was,
were editing the video for the 2 years.
Yeah.
And you spoke about editing the video, and then
Then
I
you
had
told me to man up
I had to
pussy.
look you in the eyes and say "man up, pussy." After you it was a very
it had
cruel
to go, it had
segment.
to go.
It was so.
Yeah.
So that was your worst moment, getting rid of that horrible, cruel segment.
It was cruel, but it was also. Think about if Dan had explained his anxiety and then we both had to tell him to man up pussy. Think about
I thought the idea with guests was that we told them something and they had to say it to us.
Oh, yeah.
I thought,
See,
which would have been better.
It
to be
shouldn't
fair.
have gone.
Dan TDM telling me to man up pussy would have been strong,
It
but
shouldn't have gone. What's the best podcast guest?
easy.
Dan.
No,
What?
Jedward.
Fuck off, is it Jedward?
Jedward were incredible.
Jedward were not the best guest. Obviously,
Yeah, they
it would be
were.
Dan, then Phil, then Jedward, then stupid Jacksepticeye.
Why are you always mean to Jacksepticeye?
Because he was our first guest. He's just the bottom
He
of
was
the barrel.
quite. He was grumpy.
He was
He was our grumpiest guest.
Yeah, and he was our first
If I was to
guest.
tier list them on grumpiness, most grumpy to least grumpy, I'd go. Actually, the order you gave.
Yeah.
Almost, but I put Jedward at the top of least grumpy.
Yeah, they were so not grumpy.
Then Dan, who wasn't grumpy. Phil had a bit of grumpiness about
Phil
his
had
bins.
a little bit of grump, yeah.
And then Sean was firmly
God, he was grumpy.
very grumpy about most things.
And he was horrible on set too, and always hitting the cameramen. Always beating them to a pulp. Do
Anytime there was a break.
you remember? Yeah, do you remember when we had?
Anytime there was a break, go, hey, camera boy. How you doing, camera boy?
And he'd
Just
always-
stop them cameras, camera boy.
I know, and he was sexist too. Yeah, that's why I didn't like Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, that was probably... actually, that should have been the worst podcast moment when he was horrible to everyone. This is all really mean, wasn't?
Yeah. And then he screamed "Happy Wheels" and ran over our office cat.
Which we used to have.
All right, so yeah, that was my best.
He
podcast.
did the man up pussy thing. We had to cut it. We didn't even tell him it was a segment. He just responds like that.
He was awful. No, he was really.
He actually was very pleasant. And,
No,
and
he was-
I'm very
But
happy
my
he
best
came
podcast
on.
guest was obviously Dan because he explained about how he set a kid on fire, and that was one of the that was some of the
Yeah,
hardest
that is
I've
one of the
laughed all
greatest
year.
stories we're ever going to have, really.
Jedward were fine, but I don't remember. I sort of blacked out.
I blacked out, but it was like what I imagine doing drugs is like. You don't remember it the next day, but what a high it was. You know, like it was just
Certainly the most in the moment I've ever been.
yeah.
You know, I was so there. So
I was in the room. They really, I think that's, you know how they say like all these like people that practice meditation, they're like the goal is to be as in the moment as you can
yeah,
be.
I imagine like,
You don't
hanging
need to
out with
meditate
Jedward,
around them boys.
it's probably similar to like what a heart attack's like. Like I couldn't talk or breathe really. and the voices were screaming at me.
As well. I think it's a panic attack, not a heart attack. But
I think I actually had an hour-long panic attack for that episode. Right, you
followed very closely by a 40-minute paid-for panic attack.
yeah.
Anyway, we now have our next. This is a segment. Quick fire, some questions. We're calling this the 2024 awards. We have came up with some, and by we I mean the kind podcast staff have came up with some awards that we're going to hand out to things throughout our 2024. Starting with our favorite new person award, which I assume is a person that we met in 2024 who is our favorite.
I know yours is going to be.
Go on,
Justin.
Oh shit! I should have put it down because it should have been. I put
Justin's
Jedward again.
Jack's friend.
I put
Jedward again. You're overhyping Jedward. Also, there's two of them. Which one?
Oh no, they come as one.
Nah, John.
Love John. No, well, I'll shoot for Edward then. But no, Jedward, someone I met this year that I love. Zoil. I met.
No, you can only have one. Don't start listing.
I'm just giving you my runners up. I wrote down Jedward first, but Justin, whose name I remember, would have been a great pick. He's a friend of mine. We go sim racing. We became very close.
Isn't it?
And then Zoil, who is a streamer that's really tall.
Yeah, okay, but who's your favourite though? You can't have three.
Well, as I said, I did write down Jedward first.
So it was, but that's two. So Edward.
No. Oh, you really making me? If I have to pick between John and Edward, then I'm picking someone else.
Obviously, Edward.
No,
you. For me, it's John. I connected with John.
Why did you
I
get
preferred John? I love John. We got on. We sort of had this eye line. My favourite person I met was this woman who was a driver at VidCon, and she drives us between the bits and the venue, what's it called again? Shitting convention hall and the hotel. And she was really into Kanye West, and she'd let me sit in the front and we'd karaoke Kanye West together. And it was me and her singing. And she showed me some of the ones from the College Dropout, and she'd put on the songs I wanted to listen to. And then at some point, do you know Forge Labs? He's the guy that makes all that I spent 100 days in Minecraft.
Oh, okay, sure.
He got in the car, but we were vibing already. So we said, Forge Labs, what's your favorite Kanye West song? And he was like, I don't know, one from Graduation. And we were like, okay. And then the two of us, me and this woman, really tried to get Forge Labs dancing. He didn't really. He was pretty jarred by me and this woman who were just fucking...
How many times did you share a car?
I'm going to go back to VidCon next year just so I can... Oh, mate, so many times, because I'd wait for her car. And she'd also wait for me. We had like such a deep connection. I'm going to go back to VidCon this year just so I can like hang out with her. She was so sick. She told me about how nasty men are too.
You never mentioned this woman.
She told me about how nasty men are too.
Were they?
About how a man's not great. Said, oh, sorry. I didn't really have a lot.
Did you have an affair with this woman?
No, I just sang.
You just keep talking about this like deep connection, how she vented to you about all her relationship problems.
She didn't vent a lot. She was just like, when men were nasty, she was like, mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah. She was sick though. Yeah. Well, no, she was sick. I
hope you're happy together.
She was quite a lot older than me. Wasn't? Why are you shrugging?
It's all right. Anyway,
it's the worst person you. All right.
Worst person I met award.
Oh, for me, it's so easy.
Go on,
Mizkif. Pissed me off, the twat. Just the way he looked.
You like barely even met him. You just like he just stood near him for a bit.
Oh, I hate. Have you ever just hated someone based off nothing?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
No, I wasn't based off nothing. People like to say it's based off nothing.
No, stop banging on about it. Anyway, I had to stand next to him for a bit, and I've never just genuinely hated every word and movement someone did. I also was very tired and wanted to see my friends, and I didn't get to see my friends. I got to see Mizkif. Socially inept Mizkif. He wouldn't leave me alone when I clearly was giving off all the signals for him to piss off. And I kept sort of going, and standing this way. And then he'd stand there and go, and he'd ask me another question. Like, you don't seem, and he asked me some weird shit, like, you don't seem like a happy man. I was like, what do you even say back to that, Mizkif? I don't know you. I genuinely, when I become an actor and I want to like get angry for a role, I'll think about that.
You'll picture Mizkif.
I'll genuinely just picture that interaction and I'll get so angry. It made me so pissed off. Who was the worst person you met?
So I went and drove some cars a while ago, and I went to drive like these cars, like I drove a Lamborghini and all this shit. but there was an instructor in the car with you who taught you how to like racing drive.
Yeah.
The guy in the Lambo was just a knobhead.
Why?
He was just a knobhead. He just kept being a knobhead to me. And I thought maybe I'm being butthurt because he's telling me I'm driving wrong. But then no.
I think I can figure out.
But then I put out a video of me doing that experience. Everyone in the comments is like, that guy's a real dick.
What did he do?
He just, like, I was getting things wrong, but he was being rude about it.
Why? How?
It's hard to explain. He just kept me.
Okay, I'll be you.
Don't do that.
All right.
That thing you're doing, it's wrong. You can't do that. This car is 300,000 quid. I don't want you breaking it.
Oh, that is a bit blunt.
You know what I
isn't it?
mean?
Yeah. I appreciate you explaining that.
Yeah. And there was a bit, and there was a bit where he went, this car, he actually said that line. He went, this car's 300,000 quid. I don't want it anywhere near the car in front. And then it cuts to an outside cam, and there's like clearly enough room for another car in between me and the other car. And I just thought, this guy. So anyway.
Jeez. I'm sorry, man.
And I got outsider info when I got back. Someone I know used to work.
Is his face in the video?
Yeah.
You're not ruining this man's life, are you, right now?
No, I mean, look, he's probably all right, and he's probably just stressed about the car. But, like, the comments said he was a dick, and I thought he was a bit of a dick to me.
Right. Who was the most improved friend award?
I struggled with this because it doesn't mean
didn't.
My friend that's improved the most in terms of, like, one of my friends that's really came up in the world, or is it just a friend that's now closer to me? How did you take this question?
Who's gotten better? I wrote Jack.
Oh, that's not. Oh, that's.
I know.
That's me.
I think you've gotten a lot better from the beginning of the year. You began this year bad.
In what way?
No, not really bad. I actually said that for humour. What I think is you've gotten very good at talking vulnerably, and you've gotten very, very good at expressing points, and you just seem generally a lot less stressed.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you.
You used to have this mad, manic, stressed energy that was a lot.
Yeah, well,
There's
I've
a lot
spent
to be
of my life
around.
stressed.
I know, you seem a lot less stressed now.
I am a lot less
and
stressed
I
these
like
days.
that. And I think that's why you've improved. And that's why you get the most improved friend award.
Well, you know what? I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like no. So I've obviously understood this question differently to you.
Oh.
I took it as someone who was my friend, but I've gotten much closer to over the course of the year.
Oh, who would that be?
So I wrote
You say
Harry.
Jedward. Okay.
No, because me and Harry, we were good
Harry,
friends,
yeah.
but we've gotten so much closer over the course of this year. And I also wrote John A, because recently I've been seeing a lot of John A.
What about Jedward?
No, because they weren't my friend prior to this year, so they don't count.
All right.
Anyone I met this year wasn't eligible. I thought, but recently I was thinking Erin, who's just sat right there. The past like month, I've seen Erin like 3 times a week.
Yeah. I live with
He's so
Aaron.
crazy busy working for everyone
I know.
that I just see him all the time. And I thought, we've really bonded over the. So I thought Erin was a close runner up.
Okay,
I'm not just
sick
saying
and
that 'cause
tired-
he's in the
I'm sick and
room.
fucking tired of you having 5 answers. Some of these questions over
I
here.
know, I'm giving you my solid
Jack,
answer.
some of these questions later on say top 3. This doesn't say top 3. It's top 1.
No, I'm giving you my runners up.
What did you get in like maths at school?
A 9.
Well, can you fucking put it to use? Because you're pissing me off.
Look, I'm just giving you my runners up.
What's your quote of the year award? By the way, Jack, can't be 10 quotes.
Well, actually, I got 1, but then I also thought there's a couple of other good ones.
What's your quote of the year?
I'll do it in the voice, shall I? Every story starts with a beginning.
Oh, that is a
From
quote.
David Lynch,
That is a
which
quote.
was one of my favorite quotes I've ever read. Because, yes, David, every story does start with a beginning. We were watching his masterclass and really getting some really, like every once in a while, he'd say something deeply insightful that
profound.
really, did loads for my development this year. You know how I said I've
I
improved?
remember.
I
Yeah.
credit a lot to David Lynch. But sometimes he'd also say something as fucking basically obvious as every story starts with a beginning. And you go, David, not all of them can hit. But that was probably ideas are like fish was good, but that one was more useful.
Wow, they're all David Lynch quotes.
They're the only quotes that really stuck with me this year.
I don't have a quote of the year.
Oh.
I like that thing I said to me in a dream about something like magic or something. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. The ideas are like magic, and
That was something like there's a follow magic when you hear its whisper. That was some mad shit. Sounds like from a Disney character, but it wasn't. It was from my own head, which I thought was sick.
that's good.
Yeah. That would have to be my
Sometimes
quote of the year.
quotes. I like quotes that come from places you wouldn't expect. Like there's a quote that everyone says all the time. It's very beautiful. It says, "What is grief but love persevering?" And that's from Avengers: Civil War. Like there's just some really weird ones. Like they're just like, so sometimes you'll see something weirdly beautiful in
that.
like a really weird place.
Jack, most embarrassing moment award.
It said actually it specified it didn't have to be us,
Oh,
but I
did
said mine is me.
What's yours?
I won this award when I dry humped a bar in the middle of Ohio.
Oh my days, mine's a stand-up gig as well.
Yeah,
When you did your first stand-up
I tried
set,
stand up once because you'd gotten really into it. I thought I'll have a crack. I told a story which I won't go into. I shouldn't have done it then. And I ended up on a bar in Painesville, Ohio, dry humping the bar in front of a bunch of middle-aged Republicans. And I'm gonna say it. They found it funny, but not funny enough. They didn't laugh hard enough to warrant what I was doing.
That's so funny because I think we were so deep. That literally links perfect into my most embarrassing moment. We really contributed to one another's most embarrassing moments. And egged each other
because
on.
you're the only reason I did that.
Because you're the only reason I did this was because we had, while away, I think, both decided that sexual humor is really, really nuanced and funny.
It's some of the best stuff.
And so we, while we were away, I wrote a whole set about sort of my experiences with sex and sexual humor. And then we did it in Ohio. Mine, let's be honest, mine did quite well in Ohio.
Yours hit.
But then when I did it back in London, my set about sex, and also began the set by acknowledging that my mum was in the room, and then proceeded to do the biggest bomb I've ever done of a stand-up gig. Well, and it got laughs, but it did not get
Enough.
anywhere near enough for what I was doing.
I'm defending your set. Because that guy in Ohio, there was that one guy that came up to us in Ohio. Do you remember that guy?
Oh.
He came up to us and he's like, "Hey guys, sex humor is just not that good." And he like just sat us
no,
down.
that's not what he said. He said, for how interesting lives you two have, you should be joking about more interesting
Oh
stuff.
yeah, he recognized us, didn't he?
He was completely right, and that is what I changed my humor to. But after he said that, I kept going, how rude.
He did come about it the wrong
He did
way,
do it in a
but he
weird
might have
way.
been right.
But he was actually completely
But I
right.
also understood our perspective of we were kids on the internet who kept everything sort of private, and to go and be so forward and to speak about such private stuff.
I think
it's such a break from the mold and freeing.
I think I was having a crisis.
It was a crisis-filled time for us
Yeah.
on account of my worst moment of the year.
And mine. And I think that if that's all we didn't,
This is falling to
we didn't do crack. We could have done crack.
We could have done heroin.
This year, quite honestly, the way it went, we could have became addicts.
I had a conversation with Ellen last night. I don't know
yeah.
why. I was really tired. We just got back from London at like 1 a.m. And I said something to do with heroin. And then very, very earnestly went, if anyone ever offers you heroin, just don't do it, man.
Who said that? You said
I
that.
said that to Ellie. And she was like, well yeah, obviously. I was like, just
Yeah, don't
bad shit.
do it.
And that's advice to all the viewers.
Biggest
well.
Dick of the Year award.
I actually had a quick answer for this because it happened to me only the other day. I was at a pub and a man said, "Do you want to see a picture of my knob?" I went, "All right," and he had a very large penis.
No, I don't think the biggest Dick of the Year award is about the size of a penis that you've seen.
Oh shit! Oh, you mean like someone who's a knobhead?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Well, okay. Biggest penis of the year award goes to this guy because he had a really long. It was sizable. It was sizable. You sort of looked at it at first and you thought, yeah, that's all right, and then you sort of really deeped it. You went, no, that is something to behold.
What? The...
But anyway,
some lad came up to you in a pub and just went, "Do you want to see a photo of my cock?"
Well, no, we were chatting, and we'd been chatting anyway, and apparently he had accidentally been in porn once.
What?
He like accidentally was in a porno.
Do I know this guy?
No, I didn't either. And he was accidentally in a porno, but he was, and then his mate was like, "Yeah, but he's got a massive knob." I was like, oh, good for him. He's like, do you want to see? But I must admit, I didn't really say yeah. He sort of already had it. So I looked. He
You
did
got flashed.
virtually sort of. I wasn't that. I'm not upset about the whole situation. I'm not. I'm not a prude. But
For me, for the biggest Dick of the Year award, I wrote KSI, but mainly because of how he treated Dan and how he stormed around in his nappy.
I
Not
get that.
anything to do with the size of his penis, because you've made it
well, no.
now.
All right,
now it's like
I was do biggest like dickhead award. I think we should have put head. I think we should have put dick head, and then I would have got it. Biggest dick was misleading.
okay. Nicest thing anyone did for me all year.
Well, no.
award.
Let me think about who the biggest dickhead was.
Oh, sorry.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk is easily the biggest dickhead of the year, maybe the century.
Really?
Yeah, he's a
No,
cock.
I reckon he's chill. Joking.
That was good. That was a good little one.
Yeah, I got you.
It's working, this stand-up stuff.
Isn't it?
That was nice.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, we'll do the next one. But yeah, Elon Musk would be my pick. What a prick.
Best YouTube moment of the year award.
Glad you asked. I'd probably say the start of the Jack channel was
Really?
probably one of the
It's
biggest
not the
things for the
best
YouTube
moment.
space.
No, the best moment of the year award
Really
was...
changing the game.
Okay,
Weekly Jack Manifold videos was unheard of
Jesus
until the Jack
Christ.
channel. So probably
Okay, what's the worst moment of the year
that.
award, YouTube moment?
the worst thing, probably the fact that the Jack Manifold TV channel had to go on hiatus to make
Okay,
the way for the
Jesus
Jack
Christ.
channel. But I hear it's coming back in 2025 so
Have you
it's
got
all
that,
right.
Have you got that out of your system?
Did my nipple come out when I did? Did my whole? I think my whole tit came out
nipple
when I
there.
got excited.
Christ, that was
But
that was
yeah,
a very low.
probably
moment.
the Jet Manifold TV main channel having to go on hiatus to make room for my new discovery of the Jet.
Yeah, that was the okay. Funnily
That was the
enough,
worst thing
my
for them.
worst YouTube moment of the year was when all of our mates got cancelled.
That was more of a life moment for me.
Yeah, for me that was. I see everyone as colleagues. So, my best YouTube moment of the year was when Dan sort of came in and did all that shit.
That was descript
You know, when Dan showed up and was like, "You lot are wankers."
on our Patreon.
No, before
on
the
Twitter,
Patreon.
on X.
Yeah, and then everyone was a bit stun locked for like a month.
I think everyone was stunned. I think KSI was particularly bewildered for a month, and everyone else just sort of.
No,
I think it would have been over in about 2 days if KSI hadn't been like, "What? What? What do you? What?"
I just thought that was some of the best internetage I've seen in such a long time.
It was strong stuff.
Did you stick to your New Year's resolution this year? I don't see how that's an award. That's more of a question.
We're out of the awards. That was the last award.
Okay. The award section is over.
The award section is over. These are just questions.
Now we're back to the questions segment. Questions 2.
Did you stick to your New Year's resolution then for this year?
I think. Do you want to hear mine?
I don't know what. I actually don't know what were your New
I
Year's
wrote mine
resolutions?
down, Jack. I wrote mine down.
I only had one, so I don't need notes. But I'll let you. You're just looking at a text. You just get distracted by a text.
I did actually, yeah. Sorry. My New Year's resolutions, funny enough, I wrote them in a document and then I pinned them in my notes and I've checked them like twice a month all year.
What is?
Are you ready for mine? No, mine are
Yeah.
fucking serious.
Yeah,
Mine are
no,
incredible.
please,
and feel free
please.
to take these if you want some good ones. All right. Read more good books. 30 minutes before bed, read.
You've been doing that.
I'd say I've read a lot more good books. Not as much as I could have, but I read.
You did well.
Continue watching lots of great films. Oh, did I do that?
Mm.
Man, I've watched films this year. Do more work effectively. Don't know why I wrote that so in like a fucking
Would you say
robot.
you've worked more effectively?
I'd say I have. End 2024 with more good stuff made. I'd say I've
You made the podcast.
made the podcast. Yes, because I've made a book and a podcast, and my stand-up will be towards great stuff. All right.
Good. Well done then.
Be less anxious about work. Ah, vulnerable. I'd say I am less anxious about work now.
That's nice. Oh,
Spend time effectively and overthink less. I don't know why I wrote these so like.
guess you were. I think you were being very inefficient with your time.
It sounds like I wasn't. I think I have spent more time effectively, and I think I have overthought less. Not as a lesson. I've still overthought more than I
You
would
had a
have
lot to
liked
think about, to be fair.
But admittedly, yeah, God gave me a lot. Recognize when I am burnt out and take more breaks. I have done that. I've done weekends all year.
You have
That's
had
been very
weekends.
good. I've stuck to weekends. More dates with Molly. um. Maybe if
Most of the year you did all right.
maybe if I'd have stuck to that.
Never mind.
I say I didn't. No, we didn't really. But I had a lot on this year. Okay.
I didn't realise it's been going wrong for so long.
Shut up. Continue to be as unplugged from the social media internet so I have mental headspace for cooler things. Brackets, cooking, reading, films. I have smashed that one out of the park.
You have done very well.
Literally, and to the point where in a Patreon the other day, you had to interrogate me because you were so intrigued by how I'm doing so well. Here's how, Jack. Because this note. Yeah. And I checked it. And most of the things I stuck to.
I think you've done really well.
Yeah, I have stuck to my New Year's resolutions, beside one.
Well, it's all right, because I only had one.
What was it? You had one?
And I didn't stick to it.
What was it?
It was, I was going to go sober this year. But as you know, in January, when we went to...
we went to Stonehenge, they were offering free pint.
Mead.
Free
I've
mead.
always wanted to try mead. And when in the
Broke it
world...
within like 6 days.
It wasn't 6 days, it was weeks. But
It wasn't weeks.
It was weeks.
I can see when we filmed that video on my phone.
Check. It was weeks. But they said, I've always wanted to try mead. And the world, in a cruel twist, said, free mead. And when else am I ever going to see mead ever again? I thought, I don't know. Oh my God, this is the only time I can ever do this. So I had to break my sobriety. But then I tried to go back on it. But then we went away for Ellie's birthday. And I thought, oh, well, while we're away, that it doesn't count. And then by the time I got back, I just binned it off. But I'm a bit glad I didn't do that. Because I decided I don't want to stop drinking.
Okay.
Though I do wish I'd maybe, stuck it out a bit longer.
What? Okay. Well, here's the next question for you. What's your New Year's resolution going to be next year for 2025?
Definitely not stop drinking.
No, drinking.
I've learned I'm not good at that. So
because I stopped drinking for a lot this year, and then I started again and remembered how sick it is.
So probably that.
Drink a lot too. I drink a lot.
It's not. It's only funny when you say it. No, So probably I won't be picking that. I think actually, it's now I've heard yours. It's going to seem like I'm stealing, but it's not because I wrote this down earlier. I want to watch more films and be online less. I spoke about it in a video I did the other week.
That really reminds me of something I
Well,
said.
no, but like
you should make this song about it called like the internet's getting worse or something.
No.
Okay.
No. But I've seen how well you've done being offline. And I don't want to be quite as stringent as you are. I think I like being online. I like being in tune with online culture.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time on like X the Everything app and stuff. And I think I could spend less and be happier. And I've hardly watched any films. And I love films, and I don't know why I'm not giving myself that time.
Why the hell? There's so many good cinemas here too.
I know.
Do you remember when we saw that Blur documentary? What a night that was together.
I know. I've not been to the cinema since.
I've been so
And
many
that was in
times.
June.
Really?
I've not been to the cinema since.
You're a sado.
I know. And I want to rectify that. So that's my New Year's. And I think resolution. I think I might stick to it.
That's a good one.
Well, what's yours this year?
Mine?
If you've got many.
I just wrote this. I've only got one so far, but I actually put a lot of detail and thought into them, so it wasn't enough time this morning to think of all of them.
That's all right.
One of them I wrote as a general, all-encompassing thing is I'd really like to, be a. This is going to sound, it's conceptual, so stick with me. I'd really like to be a 20-year-old a bit more. Hear me out. I know I'll be 21 in April, but I would like to be a 21-year-old then. Because it did freak me out a bit becoming 20, But I think, I'll be honest with you. Oh, yeah, that freaked me out.
It did.
Yeah.
You had a real moment. Because I remember I had a small moment, and you asked, will there be a moment? I went, I had a little moment. I went, oh, fuck, I'm not a teenager anymore.
I had like a month.
But you had like a really, really hit you.
Yeah. It still is. I just would like to, we're 20, and I'd just like to... True, you're like 22. I just think... I've just been thinking a lot lately about wanting to be 20 and sort of act my age a little bit more and be a bit more, We have a lot of responsibility, Jack, and that's great. But also, it can be a lot.
Are you trying to say that being a content creator is harder than a 9 to 5?
No, Jack, I'm trying to say it's a lot harder.
I see this like controversy come up every few months where some streamer says that, and all the other streamers go, "No, it isn't." And then like there's a big argument about it.
No, that's not what I mean.
I was trying to shit stir, really.
Yeah, I don't know what. Stop shit stirring, man.
I just want another clip to go big on Twitter of our podcast.
You've been on the drink.
I've not been on the drink. Ignore these empty, kind of slightly drunk from
Not
glasses.
all facing your way. No, I just like to be 20 more, and go out and
Hey, that's
dance
good.
and party a bit more and fucking be a twat and think a bit less. I like to do that. Obviously not too much of a twat, but I just,
No,
I
you
like
shouldn't
to be a 20.
I get what you're saying.
Because let's be honest, this year, what have I done? I've basically been quite by myself doing comedy, going up and down, which is cool.
And dealing with quite mature things, like
Yeah.
the divorce of your parents. And,
Let's be honest,
your friends being weird.
I've had to do some things this year that I don't think a typical 20-year-old is dealing with in quite the way I had to deal with. I'm a saint. And no.
But you've done well, and I think you know what you've been given a lot, and you've had to be very responsible and adult.
And you have to mature quite quickly.
And I think you've earned being a bit immature for a bit.
I think I'd like to just be a 20-year-old and do some comedy.
I think you earned it.
Thanks, Jack.
Just maybe don't be like too 20-year-oldy with your comedy, or you'll end up being like a walking episode of The In-Betweeners.
What do you mean?
Have you seen The In-Betweeners?
Yeah.
So you know the sort of humor they have.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to check. My humor's perfect.
Oh, it's going to stay.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good then.
Next question for you. Thoughts on New Year's Eve? Do you love it or do you hate it?
It's good.
I agree.
I like it. I like getting together with all the people I care about
And you like drink.
and getting drunk.
You like the drink, yeah.
Yeah, the drink would be a big part of it. Definitely that.
Let me tell you about the best New Year's Eve I ever had.
Okay.
All right. It was me, Aaron, Bill, and Freddie. And we were at
Which year was this? Which year were you going into?
2022, I think. 2021 to 2022.
Mm.
And we were all at Aaron's. And we were in Aaron's back garden. We were sat, we had a couple drinks, and we were just having such a great night. And then as it hit New Year's, we were listening to a song, and it perfectly synced to the song. There was a silence in the song, and there was a huge explosion of a firework the second it hit midnight.
Well, mine was probably last year's.
Oh,
to
yeah?
Be fair.
What are you doing this year? Can I hang out?
I'd rather you didn't.
Why? What are you doing?
All my mum, my dad, my brother, and his girlfriend are all coming to my house, and I'm hosting my family.
Great. Well, I could do with some family time.
I know, but I think you should maybe spend the time trying to rebuild yours rather than getting involved in mine.
No.
Mine's perfectly healthy.
A little TommyInnit could slide in.
Just I've noticed around you recently things seem to fall apart, and I don't want you doing that to my family. It is your fault at the end of the day that your parents divorced.
One of my other New Year's resolutions.
The fear that
just
every child has.
stop talking for a second. One of my other New Year's resolutions is to move on.
Yeah,
Because I've noticed I've had a nice little repertoire of jokes this year, such as, oh, my mate died. Oh, my parents divorced. Oh, I've been broken up with.
Yeah.
Next year, clean slate. Obviously, beside techno, because I want to keep his memory alive through my jokes. I'm just going to do a few less, though. I've kept his memory too alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't want that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to move on though.
I think that'd be healthy
this
for
is
you.
the last episode
Where we
that
can
you're
take the
gonna
piss
be
out
like,
of all that.
you got broken up with and your parent. Yeah, that's it.
I'll make that. You know what? That was probably my harshest one yet. So
It was harsh. Telling
was a
me
good-
everything around me falls apart was a really cruel thing to say.
Well, yeah, no, it's true. But I mean, you can go as far back as the Dream S&P.
That's true. Lamanberg fell. It did. You're going to show some nipple again, champ.
No,
Getting
I'm nowhere
close.
near my nipple.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
My nipples are here.
What's the
bro.
sorry. So last year was your best New Year's.
Yeah, it was at Eleanor's apartment in London, which is London's always a great place to spend
Are you
New
going out
Year's.
with Eleanor?
Pardon?
You never mentioned.
What?
Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, I enjoy the company of my girlfriend, unlike some.
We just agreed.
Well, then don't make jabs. But yeah, no, it was New Year's, Ellie's apartment in London. It's just London's always a lovely place to do New Year's. You see all the fireworks. It's just like you feel like you're in the I was about to say the thick of it. Christ,
No, they pissed me off, the fireworks, because that's taxpayer money.
is it?
You know the one near Big Ben? that will
Oh
go
yeah,
off?
yeah, that is.
They pissed me off so much. Do you know how many people are dead
Yeah, but you know, like
that could have been used with that money?
but like also, right? You know, when like you throw a company Christmas party,
Yeah.
none of your staff sit there thinking that could have been on our wages instead.
I would be if I worked for someone.
I just think, like, I get what you're saying, but I think it's quite a nice thing to do for the nation.
Yeah, but the Innit Christmas party doesn't cost as much as the.
Well, no, but
massive
also the
fireworks.
Innit Christmas party, Innit doesn't make as much money as the government.
Not yet. Not yet. But wait until we introduce taxes.
Start taxing what, the people of Lamamberg?
Oh,
Or the people with
shoot-
Lamamberg flags still in their bedrooms get taxed. Oh, you didn't
shoehorn
find
that
that as
in.
funny as me.
Shoehorned in the. Yeah, okay, all right. And what's the worst New Year's Eve you've ever had?
2011.
Why?
Because we were going into 2012. The Mayan calendar said the world was going to end, and I was terrified.
Oh, yeah, it did, yeah.
From the second it hit 2012, it could have been any minute. And they just made that film, 2012, where the world ends,
Oh, yeah.
to really reinforce all that shit the Mayan calendar was saying. I was in year 6, or maybe year 5. Year 5, I think, and terrified.
Shit, man.
Because I knew any second it could happen.
I forgot you're into conspiracies and all that crazy wacko
Well,
shit.
I don't know if you know, but I was 10 years old, and when everyone's going around saying the world might end, you believe it.
My worst one was only about 3 years ago. I was at my ex-girlfriend's, not a different ex-girlfriend.
Mm.
And this was when I still thought alcohol was a sin. Do you remember for a while, did you know me when I thought all drugs and alcohol were like evil if you did that?
I do know.
I think you knew me of like that brief time. But
I don't think I knew you felt that way about alcohol, but I did know you felt that about every drug.
Yeah, alcohol I did too.
Oh, okay.
And so I was at hers and everyone was drinking and I was super uncomfortable.
How old were you?
16.
Yeah, like it was a classic British underage drinking in someone's back garden situation.
No, I wasn't drinking.
No, but everyone else was.
No, it wasn't a New Year's party. It was like her family. I was with her whole family.
Oh, that's like the better way of underage drinking.
I
with
know, but
adult supervision.
I thought all the adults were wrong for drinking because drinking's wrong.
Oh, they were wrong too, you thought?
Yeah, everyone.
Not just the kids, but the adult.
They weren't. I don't even think kids were drinking. I was just the adults.
Oh, what?
I was sat with some adults drinking. I thought they were.
Sounds like the most responsible New Year's ever, and you were getting mad.
I was very mad because I was also out of my comfort zone. I wasn't at home with my family watching the fireworks and getting
Yeah, why
annoyed.
did you go spend New Year's with this girl?
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I do know because we were dating at the time.
Well, yeah, but how into it were you? Like, how far into the relationship?
A good couple months.
Yeah, too early to be doing New Year's with them.
No.
Not when the option of your family.
This was between COVID 2 and COVID 3.
And little did you know that was one of the last New Year's you would have with them together.
We never really had great New Year's.
Sorry, that was low hanging fruit.
we always fell asleep.
What?
You know?
You would fall asleep before?
No,
midnight?
sorry. It would be the fireworks, and we'd all be asleep by midnight. We watch the fireworks, then I go to bed. I never enjoyed New Year's. Never got much out of it.
My thing, I got to stay up late when I was a kid. That's what I liked. My thing is, can you imagine? Because we've just been asked our best and worst New Year's. Can you imagine the high and the low of 1999 into 2000, and then 2 years later from 2001 to 2002? Because 1999 into 2000 was like everyone was hyped for the start of the new millennia, the biggest new year ever. And then in 2001 to 2002, everyone just thinks about how bad 2001 was.
That's true, yeah.
I was just thinking about that earlier. What a terrible new year. Probably maybe it was good because everyone was just glad to be getting out of 2001. And in 2002, I was born, so the world had a lot to celebrate.
Right then, guys. Well, thank you for watching.
Oh, we're
We're gonna move over to our Patreon now.
Wait. How's the worm doing?
I don't even. This
It's the end of the year, and we need to see how the worm's doing.
I'll be honest with you. Can we cut this?
Where's
segment?
the worm? What?
Why do you double clap like it's going to?
Oh, I thought maybe
one behind you the whole time.
one of the many servants would bring it, but in fact,
No, we only hired the servants for the Jacksepticeye episode because he insisted.
I'm really grabbing the worm.
Don't drop the worm.
Okay,
I honestly think we should cut the worm segment because I hate worms now.
Shut up. Seriously, not even I'm talking, just shut up, because that's ridiculous. The worm is a fan favourite. Just because you don't read the comments doesn't mean I don't. And everybody loves the worm.
You won't know that next year because your resolution's going to be not reading them.
Oh, no, I'll still read them.
Oh, wow.
I just don't want to be on socials as much. I still want to see what my audience has got to say. Oh, I think
Oh, that's
there's a
good.
big bundle
Sounds like
of
a healthy
worms
echo chamber.
here. Look right here.
Let's
You
see.
see, there's like maybe 2 of them just bundled up.
Maybe they're doing worming.
They're canoodling.
Maybe they're sort of worming it up together.
Oh, they've gotten further apart since I.
Yeah, probably because they were shagging and you're tapping them.
Oh, I've distracted them from sex.
Do worms shag or not?
How? I don't think. Yeah, I think so. I'll put them down then, guys. I think the worms are having sex, so we're gonna put them down. We shouldn't watch that. It'd get us banned off of YouTube. So anyway, that was our New Year's episode. That was 2024 in retrospect, but there's more to be said. On the Patreon, we have more to talk
top
about.
3 things I wish I had not done.
And trust me, I've got a few.
Yeah. Right, we're going to move over to our Patreon. Thank you for watching the last 2024 episode of Shut Up, I'm Talking. Thank fuck this year's stupid over. Right. In a bit. I've never said in a bit. Okay.
Let's just make the noise.
All right.
Patreon.